Well, friends, what did Joseph get for telling his brothers his dream? Nothing but hatred and envy. But I rise this morning to tell you that you cannot stand and block what God has for another person. And no one can block what God has for you. No need to burden yourselves down with hatred, jealousy, and envy. Because what will happen, will happen. What will be, will be. And as we see that the brethren hated Joseph so much, and they were so adamant to ensure that he will not ever rule over them, they took him, stripped him of his clothes, stripped him of that beautiful, colorful coat, and threw him in a pit. My friends, this morning, may I remind you that the pit is not your destination. The pit is only your preparation. Sometime when we're going through these experiences, we wonder, Lord, have you forgotten me? Lord, as my mother would say, or used to say, what have I done to deserve such? And you got to just begin to see through the eyes of Joseph. No doubt he pleaded to these brethren, please don't throw me in this pit. They didn't listen to him. They took him, stripped him of his clothes, and said, we're going to tell daddy that maybe an evil beast have eaten him. One crime has led to another. But there was Judah who said, no, the Ishmaelites are going down. Let's sell him to them. And then we are sure that we are rid of him forever. And so they took him out of the pit. I guess he was so happy to be out of that pit. Because in pits, snakes and tigers and lions, all kinds of predators can be in pits. And so Joseph was in a hapless position in the pit, but when they took him, he was in a happy position. But now they said, we're selling you to strangers. They thought that was the end of him, but I tell you, when God has a providence over your life, he sometimes takes us down some very rough paths. He sometimes leads us down some roads where we will never ever imagine that we can go. He end up with strangers. And then he end up in the stranger's house, Potiphar, sold to Potiphar. And from the pit to stranger, he finds himself in a palace. No doubt, in this palace, he was homesick. But in the palace, this caused him to forget some of his misery. And before long, he assimilated the culture of these people. And his attitude and his character and his disposition and his godliness and his faith and trust in God pull him through until Potiphar's wife laid her eyes on him. Some women can't see certain things before they want to do some funny business. But Joseph said, I can't do this. I have too much respect for this man to do this. He's trusted me with everything except you. And so, friends, this morning, the woman pretended and faked a rape. And from the palace, this young man found himself in the prison. The pit, the palace, and the prison. 3 P's. The pit, the palace, and the prison. Friends, I tell you this morning, what can be more mind-breaking and heart-wrenching than to find yourself in prison for nothing that you have done wrong, a lie? What can be more reason for us to question God when these bad things happen to us? But Joseph quietly accepted his lot. No doubt he believed in his dreams. He believed that God would vindicate him. He believed that he would come to be the leader that God had ordained him to be. And so in that prison, he quietly waited. And for 3 years and more, he stayed there until God stretched out his hand and brought him out of prison to the prime minister's house, another P. From the prison now to the prime minister's residence. And God bless you this morning because you en route to the prime minister's house. God bless you and God keep you.